This week on WestfordCAT News, the Townwide Election is set for June 30th. Assistant Superintendent Kery Cleary spoke of the pros and cons of using Zoom software.
Zoom has major privacy issues, particularly the free version.
Theo is this week's Adoptable Pet. Stay tuned. WestfordCAT News is next. With the uncertainty of when the number of cases of coronavirus will peak, Select Board members pushed the date of the townwide election to June 30th. Here's Town Clerk Patty Doobie at the March 31st meeting.
All the town clerks are in the same boat, and we're all concerned about our workers working with folks, the schools where most towns do have their polling places. We're lucky in the way that our election is actually not until May. However, we have already gotten in all our nomination papers. We got all that taken care of. Some towns don't even have that done, so that's an issue for them. Last meeting, Selectman Clay mentioned about campaigning, and that is an important aspect of town elections. Personally, I find town elections the most fun because you know the cast of characters involved. So you want to give folks a chance to make themselves known. We have the most candidates that we've had, and I think in the 22 years that I've been working for the town, this is the most there's ever been, particularly for the school committee, quite popular. But we have contests in everything, I think, except the Board of Health. So it is quite an interesting election year. The state has given some guidelines about how you might want to proceed with voting. They perhaps suggesting a lot of absentee voting, which is in it itself, that's touching ballots, but that can be handled. We could have gloves, we can have, sanitizing solution. It may be better than a face-to-face type of thing. These are all things we need to consider. Now that I sent you the memo, and I'm probably reciting most of what I wrote on there, but today the governor has now extended the stay at home till May 4th. So maybe it's even more important that we really go as long as we possibly can, which is why I suggested the June 30th date. The kids, if they are able to even go back to school this semester, would probably be out of school. And it just seemed, it was a Tuesday, it could be a Saturday if that's what you chose, but it just seemed to work. The custodians would be at work. There's lots of moving parts with this whole thing.
To watch the entire Select Board meeting on demand, visit WestfordCAT.org. Assistant Superintendent Kery Cleary updated the school committee on March 30th about the limitations of using the webinar software Zoom. During the current period of isolation for everyone but essential workers due to COVID-19, the software has been in high demand. Westford governmental offices have used it for committee and board meetings. Now with school closed until at least May 4th, Cleary said teachers will conduct virtual classes, but educators will wait to use Zoom until the security issue is corrected. Here's Cleary.
One of the limitations about Google Meet right now is that you don't have this full scene with every individual, the gallery view with every individual face. There's only a maximum of, I think, 4 faces that you can see at the same time. So not ideal.
I'm Patty Stalker,
and you're
watching
and you're bringing your whole class together and there are 20 students. However, we did learn that there's an extension that you can add on that will allow for the gallery view. So we are looking to share that information once we learn more about it. Zoom has major privacy issues, particularly the free version. And we have seen article after article. Courtney was on with, I believe it was your Cat Lions meeting, Courtney, today, where they had cautioned everybody about using Zoom because of privacy. It's really convenient. It's I think it's user friendly, but obviously student safety and privacy is our top priority. And actually, just this week, one of our teachers, her son had been on Zoom and somebody had hacked in with his class. It was a school setting, I believe college setting, and somebody had hacked in and began sharing very inappropriate and even pornographic in nature pictures or videos or whatever it was. So the host of the meeting immediately shut down.
To watch the entire school committee meeting, visit WestfordCAT.org. The Lowell Humane Society is facing its own challenges with sticking to the social distancing guidelines. The shelter's marketing and fundraising manager, Crystal Arnott, spoke with WestfordCAT about how the public can help with those challenges, as well as introduced us to Theo, a Siberian Husky German Shepherd mix who is looking for a forever home.
Hi, Patty Stalker here from the confines of my own home, and we are doing our Adoptable Pet of the Week segment remotely. And we have Crystal Arnott here from the Lowell Humane Society. Hi, Crystal.
Hey, thanks for making this work for us during these crazy times.
What is going on over there?
Well, like everyone, we had to kind of hop into action and completely change the way we do everything.
I bet.
So we kind of took a pause, and closed down for the week. We are so very lucky to have such a supportive community that we were able to get the majority of our shelter pets into our existing foster network immediately.
Right.
So that was a huge relief because we didn't have to focus so much on the day-to-day care of so many animals in the building, that we could shift our focuses to keeping our staff safe, and preventing exposure for them while they still come in to care for the animals that can't go out to foster care.
So how many animals do you have in the shelter right now?
Right now we have 9 pets in the shelter. Those are pets who were either not able to go into foster homes due to medical treatment that they're receiving here, or socially, they just moving again wouldn't be good for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we chose to keep them here in the building because it would set them back so far to have to shift to a foster home and then back here before going on to an adoptive home.
What should someone do if they have a pet that needs to be surrendered?
So part of that process of shutting down last week was to be able to come up with a good plan to keep everyone safe. So we are taking surrenders by appointment only. We are also continuing to do adoptions by appointment only. That will involve, speaking to one of our staff members over the phone, whether it's an adoption or a surrender. If it's a surrender, our staff will do what they do best and counsel people. And if there's ways that we can help people keep their pet at home, then we'll definitely provide resources to make that happen because it's what's best for everyone right now. In terms of adoptions, if people are calling, we'll have them discuss the pet they're interested in with one of our staff members ahead of time. We'll have them fill out the application ahead of time, which is not something we usually do. We're kind of reversing our process from normal. This time they'll fill out an application first. We'll vet that application and make sure they're approved before even coming down here. And we'll also have a very in-depth conversation with them about the pet and the pet's needs to make sure that they are an ideal candidate before having them come down, because we want to limit that exposure to people. Obviously, we're practicing all of the social distancing recommendations. We want to keep, the public safe as well as our staff safe because we need them right now. We have stopped all volunteer opportunities. We've canceled our events and orientations, and it's really bare bones staff here at the shelter providing care for the animals now.
Thank you so much, though, for you guys sticking with it and helping these animals in need and the public in need. And, you guys are on the front lines there, doing what you do best. So thank you, Crystal.
Thank you. I have to say we have an amazing animal care staff that, comes in and gets what needs to be done. And they're getting to spend some really special time with some of the medical cases right now since there are so few in the shelter. So I think that they're kind of enjoying this quiet time with just a little bit here and there. It's a little overwhelming for all of us, I think, but there's some special perks to it as well.
I bet the pets are enjoying it as well.
Oh,
all that special attention, right?
Yeah, Theo wouldn't usually have the run of the office here, but he's getting a little TLC.
Let's talk about him.
This is Theo. And Theo is a 4-year-old Husky Shepherd mix. Can you turn around, buddy? Nobody wants to see that side of you. All right. So he is a Shepherd Husky mix, and he's about 4 years old. He is looking for a family that maybe has Shepherd or Husky experience already. He's a big boy, and he's a little quirky, like a lot of Shepherds and Huskies are. Oh, he's tooling around looking for some cheese now. He doesn't know I put it in my pocket. He is a really fun dog. He walks very well on leash. So, you know, even though he's really big, it's not something you have to worry about him dragging you down the street. Can you see? He's super duper smart. And he does a little resource guarding, which is pretty common with the Huskies. You know, he likes his stuff and he likes it to be his and his only. But an adult only or teens plus would be great for him, just due to that resource guarding. He really needs a home that can monitor that and pay attention when he might be, you know, playing what's mine is mine with his stuff. But he's a really great dog, very sweet. He, like I said, is 4 years old. He will definitely need a family that can understand his need to be contained or confined. He's an escape artist, and he will laugh at your fences and at your gates and find his way out very quickly. So you have to be prepared for his antics and make sure that he doesn't continue roaming the neighborhood. That was part of why he came into us. He was a frequent flyer with animal control, and the family just felt like they just couldn't keep up with what he needed to keep him on their property any longer. You sit.
So what should the public know? What do you guys need over there at the Lowell Humane Society? How can they help?
So right now we are really in dire need of financial donations. We have a number of pets in the shelter who are receiving medical treatment right now, and recently have had several who received surgery. A lot of people know about Lola, the little puppy that had a liver shunt. She's recovered, and actually her adopter is being selected from a very worthy pool of applicants this week. But we are still paying her medical bills. Gizmo, we recently shared on our social media, is a cute little Chihuahua who had hip surgery. We also have a new dog in the shelter that arrived in the midst of the chaos last week, who is going to need mammary masses removed. So despite somewhat of the world stopping outside our doors, we still have a lot of medical cases that we are handling here. So they're still getting to the vet and getting what they need. So help with that is appreciated. And we are also have our food pantry that is well stocked at the moment. But as these closures continue, we expect families to be faced with greater financial constraints. And we want to be able to continue helping families keep their pets at home by opening up that food pantry to even more families who need it.
So if someone wants to make a financial donation, how do they do that? If someone wants to donate food to your food pantry, how do they do that?
Yeah, you can visit our website at lowellhumanesociety.org and click on donate. You can make a one-time donation or make a small monthly donation so that you can keep giving throughout the year and really sustain our medical needs. And donations of food can be made either left on our doorstep and one of the staff members will pick it up, or you can send it via Amazon wish list, which we have right on our donate page as well on our website. And you won't even have to leave the house. It'll be delivered right to our door.
Terrific, Crystal. Well, thank you so much for all you're doing there at the Lowell Humane Society. And we'll talk again next week, okay?
Excellent. Thank you so much for making this happen.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye now.
For WestfordCAT, I'm Patty Stalker.